Hello, welcome back to Ben Keenan Just Can't Stop Talking, the 10-ish minute news and culture show where we talk about everything that happened in the last 24 hours so that you are a little bit smarter about a lot of things. It is Monday, March 24th, and I am here to apologize to you that I've been MIA. One of those weeks, work really kicked my butt. In case you don't remember, I do have a full-time job. And this full-time job had me working until 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night yet again. But we did our new business pitch today. Pew, pew, pew. So I am back on my regular schedule. Back in action for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You've waited long enough. Okay, so first, there's this K-pop group called NewJeans. Well, they've announced that they are going on hiatus amidst a legal battle with their label. Now, I know that I'm not the number one person to know about K-pop. I'll be the first to admit that. But my question remains that I will never understand how these K-pop groups come up with their names because NewJeans, one word, just doesn't make sense to me as a name. It's like me going Green Stanley because it was the nearest thing to me. So if you have information, let me know. So you know that French actor Gerard Depardieu? He is the one that played Chef Didier in Queen Latifah's movie Last Holiday.
And, call me crazy, but am I tasting rendered loins of pork belly here?
Oui.
Pork belly, wink, wink.
Oh, very sensitive palate. Half clarified butter and half pork fat.
I knew
No. But keep it to yourself. You know how some people are about pork fat.
Yeah.
They don't like the pork.
Well, he is set to stand trial for alleged sexual assaults of 2 women on the set of the 2021 movie Les Volets Verts, which is the green shutters in English. The AP is saying that this case is actually seen as a potential watershed moment for the Me Too movement in France. 40-year-old professional skier Lindsey Vonn became the oldest woman to have a podium finish at a World Cup after placing second in the Super G race at the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Finals in Idaho on Sunday. This also marks her first podium since coming out of retirement in January. She's such an icon. I mean, truly. Welcome back, Lindsay. 23andMe is filing for bankruptcy and the co-founder and CEO resigned. And then the California Attorney General started urging 23andMe customers to delete all their data. So there's that. Singer Ethel Cain announced a new album out this August called Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You, paired with a Willoughby Tucker Forever tour where $1 from every ticket sold will be donated to organizations serving the trans community. Now, unless tickets are only $3, massive protests are currently taking place in Turkey right now to protest their current president, Erdogan. I don't know, is that how you pronounce it, Erdogan? Who just yesterday jailed the mayor of Istanbul over what he claims is corruption. The mayor is widely known to be challenging Erdogan for the presidency in the next election, so this is seen as political warfare, jailing your opponents, etc., etc. Miley Cyrus announced that her new 13-track album called Something Beautiful will be released on May 30th. She's saying it's a concept album, but I guess she's also working with a producer who does a lot of alt-rock style stuff, so it sounds like she might be coming back with her rock era, which I'm okay with. So this news was nuts today. Jeffrey Goldberg, who is the editor-in-chief of the news outlet The Atlantic, was accidentally added to a Signal group chat with Trump administration officials, including Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Pete Hegseth, amongst many other important people, where they were discussing top secret war plans related to bombing Yemen. The incompetence of these people is astounding. And it's indefensible when even Jessica Tarlov, the sole Democrat on Fox News's The Five show, was not interrupted by the other 4 Republicans on the panel. Take a look at this.
Donald Trump's ratings on handling the economy, inflation, cost of living are all tanking. And we're seeing this administration's incompetence and recklessness on a scale unimaginable. I'm sure you guys saw this incredible Jeffrey Goldberg piece from right before we got on air a couple years ago about Goldberg, who is a journalist at The Atlantic, being invited into a private Signal chat with all of our national security heads. So Rubio, Hegseth, Waltz, Tulsi Gabbard, Scott Bessent's in there, et cetera. And they are planning on just Signal to drop bombs in Yemen. So they're not doing this in a skiff. They're doing it on an app that you and I, we all have on our phones. And it's obviously incredibly reckless, national security risks. I don't want to ever hear but her emails again. I don't know what's going to happen to anyone who's involved in something like this. But on top of it, you have the vice president. He's in there as well, contradicting Donald Trump on his policy on Europe. So all of this is going on. We're only a couple months into this administration. And when Carville says, let's see what they do, you get stuff like this.
Former #1 tennis star in the world, Billie Jean King, has announced that she's actually decided to go back to school and get her degree after dropping out to become a tennis icon.
Okay, everyone, buckle up. 60 years ago, I left California State College at that time. Now it's California State University at Los Angeles, to go and be #1 in the world. I went to Australia and I became #1, but it's always bothered me that I haven't graduated. So we're going to call this the road to graduation. I have entered Cal State LA with the help of everybody. And I was a history major, and I'm back being a history major. And these are a few of my little books. It's hilarious. There is so much reading. And, oh, I'm still working. Oh yeah, what's that? Anyway, these are some of them. And but I love it. And we will continue to have episodes along the way to see my road to graduation.
So remember at the Oscars how the documentary award went to Palestinian co-directors of the film No Other Land? Well, apparently one of the co-directors, Hamdan Bilal, was apparently beaten up in Palestine's West Bank by Israeli settlers and then was pulled from an ambulance when he was getting help and arrested by the Israeli military on Monday morning. His co-director, Yuval Abraham, is saying online that they haven't heard from him since this happened. And I want you to keep an eye on this space because people are disappeared all the time. This just happens to be a higher profile person, much like the US judge who was like investigating all of the Russian whatever, and then she resigned a little while ago and then was found dead over the weekend. People be disappearing, you know? Keep an eye on this. Like, don't just let people be disappearing. So there are reports that Trump's White House is soliciting corporate sponsors for the annual Easter egg roll. That's right, mom and dads. You've heard it here first. Your kid now has the chance to hunt for chocolate and jelly bean filled eggs exclusively presented to you by Tesla and Raytheon. Lizzo was set to play Sister Rosetta Tharpe in an upcoming biopic. And one, I didn't know that Lizzo acted. And two, I don't know who that woman is, so I don't have an opinion on the casting. And finally, so you know the post office, right? And remember the name Postmaster Louis DeJoy that Trump put into office in his role in like 2020, and then everybody wanted to get rid of him, but we all kind of just like forgot about it for a while. Well, he resigned today, effective immediately. And that's it. That's all the news for today. There were some big ones in there. So while it might be short, there's definitely like weight, you know? Per usual, I will be back tomorrow where more news is happening and I tell you all about it. I promise I will be back tomorrow. But if you can't wait until then, you can find me on social media. I am on TikTok and YouTube. I've been traveling. I am on Instagram and Threads at Ben Keenan. You can always find me here on the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts called Ben Keenan Just Can't Stop Talking. Until tomorrow. Bye.